What's up guys, welcome to my video. So today we're going to be covering the Arms Warrior in patch 8.0, and in this quick PvP guide we're going to be talking about stats, talents, honor talents, rotation, and then of course we're going to be answering the question of should you main warrior in Battle for Azeroth. And last season in PvP I actually did pretty well on my warrior, pretty decent. We got to almost 2200 in 2s and then 2k in 3s, and then of course we got our elite set. So it was a lot of fun, and hopefully in Battle for Azeroth we'll do a little bit better. Alright guys, so first let's talk about what's different with the Arms Warrior in Battle for Azeroth. And there are a couple of things. One, our mastery is different. It's gone from being a damage debuff to being a bleed effect. We now have an ability called Sweeping Strikes, and in addition we have a attack power buff called Battle Shout. So that's pretty much it. Everything else is relatively the same. Now as far as talents go, I'm going to be showing you two different PvP builds that I've been using, one for arenas and one for battlegrounds. So let's take a look at the arena build first. For the first row we're going to be going with sudden death. It's just a really good talent, guys. It means that you can use your execute ability for free whenever you attack your target. There's always a chance for it to proc. For the second row we're going to be going with Stormbolt. It's just an overall really good ability. It's a 4-second stun on a 30-second cooldown. You can use it to either lock down your kill target or maybe crowd control a enemy healer. So really good talent. Next row we're going to be going with Massacre, but alternately you can take Rend. I think they're both really good abilities, but right now I'm taking Massacre because of how fast PvP is. And with how hard warriors are hitting, I tend to use my execute ability a lot. So Massacre is really my choice here on this row. For the next row we're going to be going with defensive stance. Overall it's pretty self-explanatory. Warriors don't really have a lot of self-healing and a lot of defensive. So defensive stance is going to be required for PvP. Next row we're going to be going with Warbreaker, only because the other two talents, they are a little bit mediocre. I haven't really found any use for them in PvP. I think they're going to be more of PvE talents, so my choice is going to be Warbreaker. Next row we're going to be going in for the kill, which means that whenever you use your Colossus Smash or Warbreaker ability you get a 10% haste buff. And trust me guys, in Battle for Azeroth you are going to want a lot of haste on your warrior, so this is a really good talent. And then lastly we're going to be going with Anger Management, which means that anytime that you spend rage it reduces the cooldown on Warbreaker and Bladestorm. Alright, so now let's take a look at my PvP build for Battlegrounds. And for the first row we're going to be taking War Machine, which makes it so your auto attacks generate 10% more rage. In addition, when anything around you dies, which happens a lot in BGs, you get 10 rage and your movement speed is increased by 30% for 8 seconds. So it's really strong talent in Battlegrounds. Next we're taking Double Time because I really like to have that extra mobility on my warrior. Alternately you can take Impending Victory, which is a pretty decent heal on a 30-second cooldown, but Double Time is definitely my choice on this row. Next row we're going to be going with Massacre, which basically allows you to finish off a target that's 35% health or below. Really useful in Battlegrounds once again, guys. Next row we're taking Bounding Stride for that extra mobility. Alternately, if you want guys, you can take Defensive Stance for the damage reduction, but I really like to have a lot of mobility in BGs, so Bounding Stride is my choice. Next talent is going to be Warbreaker because the other two talents on this row are kind of mediocre for PvP. And then second to last row we're going to be going with Avatar for that 20% increased damage. And then lastly Ravager. It's really strong, especially in BGs when there's a lot of people clumped together. Ravager does a lot of AoE damage. Alright guys, so now let's take a look at honor talents, and this is my default setup. So first we're going to be taking Gladiator's Medallion, followed by Sharpened Blade, which when you activate it increases the damage of your Mortal Strike and also reduces healing on the target by 50% for 4 seconds. So it's really good for scoring a kill in PvP. Next we're going to be taking Death Sentence. Basically it's kind of like a free charge, like whenever you get a sudden death proc or whenever the target is low and is in execute range, it basically jumps to that target and it's a 15-yard range, so it's really strong in PvP. And then lastly, we're going to be going Storm of Destruction. Basically reduces the cooldown of Blade Storm or Ravager by 33%, so it's really strong. But Honor Talents are one of those things that are situational, so I definitely recommend you guys kind of play around with them a little bit to see which ones are your favorite. Alright, so now we're talking about stats for the Arms Warrior, and it's going to be like this, guys. Basically, Critical Strike first, followed by Haste, and then Versatility, and lastly it's going to be Mastery. And the reason why Crit and Haste are really important for the Arms Warrior is because of the passive ability called Seasoned Soldier, and makes it so that your auto attack critical strikes generate 30% more rage, and as a warrior, having a lot of rage is really important. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the PvP rotation for Arms Warrior, and it's really easy, guys. Once you charge your target, you're going to activate your Warbreaker ability, then you're going to use your Overpower ability to buff your Mortal Strike, then you're going to activate your Sharpened Blade, and then finally you're going to use your Mortal Strike ability. After that, you can follow that up with maybe Blade Storm, but really the Arms Warrior rotation Battle for Azeroth is really easy, guys. It's just a priority system of buffing your Mortal Strike ability with Overpower, and then using your Mortal Strike when it's not on cooldown, and then of course spending your rage that you generate with Slam. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it informative, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, share. I definitely will appreciate it. Also, if you have any questions whatsoever about today's video, make sure you leave them in the comments below and I'll check them out. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.